Business, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics says the federal government's aggregate receipts of the value-added tax in Q2 of 2024 stood at 1.56 trillion naira, indicating a growth rate of 9.11% on the quarter-on-quarter basis, from 1.43 trillion naira in Q1 of 2024. According to the revenue report on VAT from the NBS, manufacturing, information and communications ranked top, recording 11.78%, information and communications 9.02%, mining and quarrying 8.79%. Of the said amount, local payments recorded were 792.5 billion naira, foreign VAT payments of 395.7 billion naira, while import VAT contributed 372.9 billion naira in Q2 of 2024. On a quarter-on-quarter basis, human health and social work activities recorded the highest growth rate of with 8.4%, followed by agriculture, forestry and fishery with 70.26%, water supply and waste management and remediation activities with 59.75%. On a year-on-year basis, the National Bureau says VAT collections in Q2 of 2024 increased by 99.82%. The Nigerian Communications Commission has unveiled a device management system aimed at bolstering security and protecting consumers in the country's mobile device market. The DMS will serve as a comprehensive central equipment identity register, creating a unified database for tracking and monitoring mobile devices across all operations in the country. This new regulation outlined in the Type Approval Business Rule 2024 aims to prevent phone theft, curb the use of counterfeit devices, and ensure compliance with established standards. All mobile network operators are required to connect to the DMS and mirror network-related policies configured by the NCC, ensuring uniform approach to device regulation. Cash dispensing merchants, otherwise called POS operators, play a unique role in the financial system. But it has been noticed that the banking institutions sometimes collaborate with POS operators to rip off customers through expensive charges. Effiong Ekop has the report.
Money merchants are everywhere. You see them on busy streets, offices, restaurants, churches, and the parks. These roadside cash operators perform useful transactional functions that are timely.
I like collecting money from POS because when you get to any POS, you give them your ATM, you are going to collect amount what you want. But when you go to a bank to collect money from there, when you get there, you will be disappointed. There will not be money from ATM. So that is why I like going to POS more than bank.
They work in contrast to traditional banking institutions, seen generally relinquishing their cash dispensing functions to these roadside agents, since ATM machines of banks hardly hold cash for customers.
When they go to the bank, there is a lot of queue on the bank. So when they do go to the bank, they might queue. And some people don't like queuing. You understand? They would like to do their transaction immediately, and they would like to leave you understand?
Many of the banks act in great suspicion. They procure diverse POS machines, negotiate terms and charges with roadside cash dispensers, and route huge funds from their vault to profit-sharing agents who take undue advantage of customers in need of cash.
The only thing they do is that if you want a cash, you understand, they can give you, because you are the POS attendant, you understand, they can render as little as they can. They can render help for you, for POS attendants.
Current banking system in Nigeria relies on excessive charges on customers' accounts rather than offering satisfactory services. People wonder why the Central Bank of Nigeria care less about poor business ethics exhibited by the banks. When banks merely decorate their premises with colorful ATM machines which hold no monies for customers, the actions marks social frauds on the part of the banks. Effiong Ekop, TVC News, Lagos.
Asian stocks increased slightly today but struggled to sustain an upbeat rally on Wall Street as concerns about the fluttering Chinese economy dampened the market mood. Now, MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares outside of Japan was last up marginally, 0.5%, languishing near a 1 month low we hit in the previous session. Its gains were capped by a slump in Chinese stocks. China blue chip index, which fell to 7 months trough and last traded 0.17% lower, while the CSI tourism index tumbled to a record low, underscoring the country's consumer demand. Now, the broader Hang Seng index in Hong Kong gained 0.3%, though China's property sector has remained down, with the Hang Seng mainland properties index tumbling to a record low on Tuesday. Germany's inflation fell to its lowest level in more than 3 years in August 2024, making it easier for the European Central Bank to cut interest rates this week. The headline inflation rate eased to 2% in August, its lowest level since June 2022, thanks to lower energy prices. German consumer prices, harmonized to compare with the other European Union countries, had risen by 2.6%. That's about on a year-on-year basis in July. Core inflation, which excludes volatile food and energy prices, slowed slightly to 2.8% in the same month from 2.9% the previous month. Energy prices in Germany declined by 5.1% compared to the same month last year. In the same vein, the rise in food prices accelerated for the 5th consecutive month, while prices of food were 1.5% higher in August than the same month a year earlier. Data from Statistics Office showed these figures. Apple has lost its fight against an order by EU competition regulators to pay 13 billion euros, which is about $14.4 billion in back taxes to Ireland as part of the EU's crackdown against sweetheart deals between EU countries and multinationals. The European Commission issued the order in 2016, saying that iPhone maker benefited from 2 Irish tax rulings for over 2 decades that artificially reduced its tax burden to as low as 0.005% in 2014. Apple said the record EU tax order defied reality and common sense. Ireland, whose low tax rates help to attract big tech to set up their European headquarters, had also challenged the EU ruling. The court gives final judgment in the matter and confirms the European Commission 2016 decision. Apple has expressed disappointment with the ruling. Chinese tech giant Huawei has unveiled its new smartphone, billed to as the world's first trifold phone. Its release comes a day after Huawei competitor Apple announced its iPhone 16, built for generative artificial intelligence, as it seeks to boost sales and keep up the technology race. The phone was officially launched in a keynote presentation by Huawei's executive, Mr. Richard Yu, at the firm's headquarters in the south city of Shenzhen. It is a premium phone for a niche audience. Over 3 million people registered interest in buying the Mate XT ahead of its launch. Well, crude oil prices edged downwards today as weak Chinese demand offset U.S. supply disruptions from tropical storm Francine, and as a global oil oversupply risks continue to weigh on the market. Now, U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude sells for $67.88 with a decline of 1.21%. Brent also experienced a downward review of 1.13%, selling at $71.03 per barrel. Bonnie Light is down 2.84% to sell at $78.62. And for the OPEC basket, crude oil dealers are offering $73.19 with a decline of 0.67%. That's business news at this hour. I'll see you at the top of the hour for Business Nigeria. Next is sports news. Good afternoon.